Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another random day with your host, the Random Hero. Today we are going to go over a media player. This was brought to my attention actually in one of the comments was asking my opinion based on do I like this program better and or compared to MediaMonkey. And I'd never heard of this program, so of course I went and checked it out. And yeah, this thing is really good, and I think it's a few steps away from being great. I mean, at this point, it already is. There's a couple things that it doesn't do, but it doesn't necessarily need to do everything. But I'm rambling, and we're gonna get into it. So, this one is created by Raphael Goddard. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I will give you the link to it. So actually, I'm just gonna bring this over here. So you can see here, that's the website if you want to get this software. And it kind of tells you, what it is. You got your setup. It says hi, what language, appearance, stuff like that. So without further ado, let's just pop this thing open. Kind of go over what it does. This is a preview as far as... So you're able to get the basically beta versions of the program in the full release version. You can see here there's a new version available. So basically every time I log in, there's a new version. I mean, this guy's constantly working on this software, and I just feel like it's really good because there's a lot of things that I like. Of course, it offers you. It plays the WAV files. You got your MP3s, your OGG Vorbis, your FLAC, your WMA, your W4A/AAC files. So it pretty much gives you everything you need as far as that goes. Now, to get into how it looks, but let's go to, I haven't completely got everything set up. As you can see, the one thing that is a little off, and I think it kind of with any of them, to be honest. So for instance, we have Bob Seger, right? So now if one letter is different, now obviously these are spelled different for whatever reason. Let's use a different one. So okay, Blink-182. So Blink-182, I have a capital B on one, and I have the lowercase b on the rest of them. So now you can see it's showing it basically as two artists. And it's not even two, it's just these two songs. Easy fix. And I think a lot of them do that. So we have Blue Oyster Cult, same thing. So either one letter's off, and actually you can see it's just the O. But not to, go too far into that. But that's exactly, what it does. Just one letter off, capital, lowercase, whatever. That's kind of weird. Like I said, I think it does that. I think there's other apps that, like MediaMonkey, I don't believe you have to do that. I think they just kind of combine them automatically. It's not a big deal. Most of my stuff is labeled correctly, but you will have stuff to where, you'll have one letter, and it's, there you go, MD on the Coast. So the only difference is the O and the T are capital, and it's two artists. So beyond that, now, to get into this, I love the way that it's laid out, the way that they set everything up. So it's kind of like MediaMonkey in the fact that you have your album art, and then of course you have the tracks over here. You have your rating system, of course. You can select it as your favorite, just like you normally could. But I just love the way that it's a clean layout, because you find a lot of times with the other media players, there's a lot of extra crap that you don't really need. I guess you could use it if you wanted to, track plays, file type, whatever the case. And a lot of times you just don't need that stuff and or want that stuff in there. So now let's just kind of get into the settings a little bit. I'll kind of show you what it has. So if we go to our settings, we have refresh the collection on startup. So what it's going to do is it basically rescans everything on startup. It doesn't affect how you're running it, anything to that matter. It's, because like I have 23,000 songs, so you could you could think that that might slow it down a little bit, and I guess perhaps if your computer's maybe out of date or whatnot, it absolutely could. So yeah, I would assume not, but you never know. So this is where you're going to add your folders. I have everything in one folder, so you don't need different areas of music. As far as, I guess you could if you had like Amazon MP3, something like that. Either way, that's where you add your folders in. You have your refresh, ignore files that were previously removed. Now that's a cool option because I find with, for instance, Media Monkey, there's a lot of crap that I don't want to come back in if I refresh, because like if you add a new artist in and that artist, you got one CD or whatever, but there's other stuff that you've taken out. Let's say you have the MP3 version of that file and you also have the better version of that file, and for whatever reason you don't want to delete the MP3 version, but you also don't want it in there. So you go and delete it, and it's gone. That's the best part, because if you go to refresh it, it's not going to throw it back in there. Now, for instance, I have some of my Eminem collection where it's multiple artists. It's kind of a collab or like demo stuff. I don't really want that shit in there because I'm not going to listen to it. I have no need for it. I like my collection to be clean as far as on my media player, so I don't want that shit in there with the multiple artists, whatever, various. I don't like the various artists thing. I would rather pull apart the CD, as you get what I'm saying. Pull the tracks out of there and put them in their respective place. I just, that's me. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna go to appearance. So we have choose a theme. You have the dark and you have the light theme. There's a light, which is too light. It's like white, But the cool thing is so you can follow window color if you want to do that, which is kind of the grayish, which actually that's not bad. But you can choose the light theme and you can choose the secondary color, which is cool. It's kind of like when you're doing the themes for Media Monkey or whatever. And it allows customization, which, again, for something like this, you don't really need to change all the themes because I like this look, and that's kind of what I go for, is the darker theme, and I like the look of it. I like the layout, so I don't really need to change it as far as that goes. So we have show a border of 1 pixel around the window. Don't know what that is. Still don't know what that is. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that did. Anyways, we have add more colors, so I guess you could add some more in there. That's cool. So we have language, English, of course. They have English, and we have a whole bunch of other languages. So before, I know they only had like 3 languages, but like you said, this dude is on it, adding a lot of different features and stuff. So then we have Spectrum Analyzer, and that it's kind of hard to explain. So I mean, you can look that up, but it's pretty cool that they have that in there. Transparency. So this is only for Windows 10, which I will not be getting, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's move on. Now we have behavior. So we have show an icon in the notification area, which is obviously down here in this area. We have minimize to the notification area. We have close to the notification area. So when you close it out, it'll just, shove it down in the corner. Automatically scroll to the playing song. We have the rating system. You have your save the rating. So it'll save it on the actual file and not just on that file that's in the, in your media player. We have the love button. Mouse scroll changes the volume, so you can scroll up your mouse to do the volume up and down. Show remove from disk and context menu. So we have playback. And I haven't really messed with any of this stuff. I just kind of left the default as far as latency. I think you only change it if I guess you need to, or like I said, the technical part of that I just haven't really gotten into that as far as the spectrum analyzer and all that stuff. So we have this. Now what this does is when it's kind of like the other ones. When you start playing a song, it'll pop up a little window. Usually that window will be the color of your theme. So I had black and red before, so it'll be black and red when it popped up. Show a notification, so that's when you pause a song, play it back. Show a notification only when the player is not visible. So that would be if you had it minimized, or if you're, like me, if you're playing a game, whatever. Position of it, you can change that, so that's cool. Automatically after this much time. And we have the show playback progress in the Windows taskbar. So that's going to be down here. On startup, now we can check for updates, as you can see there, and every 15 minutes as well. This is the part you would actually have to activate if you wanted to get the preview version, or you're just going to get the stable version. It's kind of like the other programs, where they'll, like Launchbox, for instance. Launchbox, you can get the beta versions of the program for features that they're adding in that not everybody has access to until the full release, but you at least get to try them out and see how they are, see if you like them, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, you just got to check that because by default it is off. So automatically download the update. So again, if I click this, it's going to pop a window up and start installing because it's already there. Startup page, we open the last page at startup. And then we have remember the last played song and playback progress. Next, we have online. So this does search through lyrics. You do have your Last FM Scrobbler, which again, big for me, must have. So I'm glad that they added that in, because in the previous full release version, not the beta version, but the full release, it doesn't have this, and it was added in. So because when I first downloaded, I was kind of disappointed that it didn't. So, anyways, we have download artist information from Last.fm automatically, so that's cool. Download lyrics automatically. Lyrics download timeout, none, and then you can select from where you want the lyrics to come from. And moving on, we have the keyboard shortcuts here. We have the media keys, and it shows the output device. So that's pretty basic there as far as that goes. And then we have about, this kind of gives the information. Here's the website for him, of course. You have your Twitter, your Facebook, his accounts, and you can contact him if you would like to donate, of course. And it shows the build number with the preview. So that is cool there. This is all the different components that he used, and thanks to the people that helped him along the way. So that's pretty cool. So now we're going to get back to the collection area. So we are going to play. Let's just do. And like I said, it with the by the way, this stuff, it automatically checks that as well. It'll check the artist, and it will check the album art as well when it scans and updates. So if I go to this album here, and we're going to turn down the volume because we don't want this to play. We don't want any of that stuff. So if I start playing it, you can see it here. The equalizer there. So it does have an equalizer as well, of course. And I believe that is actually the spectrum analyzer there. That's what that is. Songs playing here. We can click on the album here. Bring it up. It'll show you that it's playing. We have the album cover art in the back here. The full time of the album. And of course the year that it was released. All that stuff. We have lyrics here. We have the artist info, so I can go here. We can get the biography of the artist. We have the lyrics for that song. We have this one here. What does that say? Showcase. Okay. So again, it's a very cool player, and it's got a lot to offer. This one is the log file, and we do have a mini player also, which is cool. I dig it. Because a lot of times you'll get the... Oh, that is cool. I like how that's kind of... It's almost like it cut it out right there. I dig that. Anyways, I like how... Oh, that's cool too. So you can add playlists and stuff like that. Very cool. Yeah, so this is a very cool player. It's not very big. It's a small download. Obviously, the updates are very quick, so you don't have to worry about that. And I definitely think it's worth checking out for sure. Definitely worth your time. I think this thing's only going to get better, and this guy's constantly working on it. It's going to be great. I think, again, what I talked about before, the only thing I thought it was kind of lacking, and this isn't a big thing, but a little bit, is CDs. So obviously I'm ripping CDs. I still buy CDs because I try to get the best quality I can. And again, I realize that all depends on how they were put on, the quality that they were put on in. But a lot of times, again, if you can try to rip them, if they were in their original form on the CD, they'll FLAC. You're getting a better quality file, and I still prefer that. And again, with me, I like to pick up CDs of artists that I don't particularly know, and sometimes you just run into bands that are just good, and you've never heard of them. And that's kind of the thing with Spotify too. So I think that's about it for this video. Again, it's cool how they did it, as far as, so you can obviously change this as well on the artist, on all, or song, or album. And again, here too, you can sort the albums by date, you can sort the albums by rating, or the songs by rating, stuff like that. But that's about it. Again, you can kind of mess with this stuff yourself, but I just wanted to kind of give you the layout of it, how it looks, what it does, the greatness that is Dopamine here. So definitely worth your time. Thank you for listening and watching the video and dealing with my sometimes rants, or ramblings. I'll say ramblings. I like ramblings. Let's go with ramblings. And that one as well. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like it, and thumbs up. I appreciate it. And you folks have a good night.